the mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. And you're listening to InYourHeadOnline.com. These guys are unbelievable, baby!
All right, we are back. Welcome to In Your Head Wrestling Radio. I'm Jack, along with my right-hand man.
1-inch biceps.
And the man from the UK.
The voice of the beautiful people and the cult of personality. I am Barbie Richards.
All right, and right off the bat, we're joined by his third appearance here on In Your Head, the one and only Terry Funk. Welcome back to In Your Head.
The Funker.
The Funker. You prefer the Funker?
It fits with Barbie, it fits with Jack, it fits with 1-inch bicep. Refer to me as the Funker tonight, all right?
All right, the Funker.
The dirty Funker.
We've got the dirty Funker here with us.
No, filthy Funker. I like filthy.
The filthy Funker. Yeah, it blends well together.
It doesn't matter.
We might have found
It doesn't matter. A funk's a funk.
Exactly. However you can get it, if it's filthy, it's dirty, as long as it's a funk.
Yeah, as long as it's a funk.
Exactly. Well, we got a caller here right away. If anyone else wants to call in, it's 508-644-8503. Let's take him right away here. We got Big Dave Wells on the line.
Hey, how y'all doing, gentlemen?
Good, thanks. You're on air with Terry Funk. You got a question?
Mr. Funk, yes. This is Dave Wells. I'm actually... good to talk to you again. I'm actually the guy that broke down in front of you back in Spartanburg back in 2005. I wanted to ask you, Mr. Funk, you had talked at that question and answer session where I was at about doing something about the deaths in wrestling. My question is, a lot of things have went on since then. What's your take on what needs to be done the next step, Mr. Funk?
Well, I'm going to give you a pretty lengthy answer on that, is that it seems to continue on, and but yet there should be an ending to it, and it's not only in wrestling, it's in all athletics, not so much the deaths, but what apparently is the cause of the deaths in wrestling is the allowing of and use of certain drugs, and I'm talking about basically steroids,
Mm-hmm.
Sure. And but not only in wrestling, is our sports throughout the country are riddled by it, even down into the high school level. And we are, and I told somebody this the other day, that we are the captains of our own ships. That's right. But we got to remember the commanders of the fleets, and if we, this goes for NFL, football, and basketball, and really baseball, and all the sports, and I'm talking about, but who's the commander of the fleet? We're the captains, but who's the commander? Well, the commander in wrestling is Vince McMahon. The commanders in football are the owners. The commanders in basketball and baseball are the owners. And they are the ones that have to put the stop to it all. And they can clean up the act immediately. How do they clean up the act? It's simple. If you violate a rule as far as drugs are concerned, it's the automatic death penalty. That's a stiff one, isn't it? But you have to remember, why do we partake in this stuff anyhow? We partake to play the game that we love. And that's the same way that it would be. We would automatically not partake if we couldn't play the game that we love. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So,
absolutely.
Absolutely. And it's got to be that way. And the owners of the owner of professional wrestling as a whole is Vince, and he's got, that's how he could stop it. A lot of the deaths. There's a lot of other deaths in my business too. Are they, I think they're somewhat related to the steroid situation, and I think that just, I think it's just one step closer, and it seems to have been that way. I wonder what the numbers would be on the guys that have died. How many of them do you think are on steroids, and how many of them do you think that have, and even from killing themselves and everything else, or whatever way they choose to their own demise? How many of them do you think that had a previous venture of roids, or taking the roids? You understand what I'm saying?
They had a part in it, as we're saying.
Is it a beginning? Is it a beginning? Or is it towards the end? I think it's at the beginning.
Well,
I think it's the beginning of things.
We've actually had some guests on who said that they actually think steroids are good for you or good for wrestling because you need big guys, but that some people
that's utterly
abuse
ridiculous.
them. I want to. What was your opinion on that?
Have I ever used steroids? I came into college at one time and, took a physical, and we always took a physical at West Texas University, and the doctor at that time, of course, they weren't illegal, and he said to me, he says, "Hey, Funk," he says, "you want some steroids?" He says, "I got some Dianabol and some Winstrol." He says, "You want to take them?" I said, "Sure, I'll take them, So he gave me a bunch of capsules of them. I mean, it was absolutely legal at the time,
All right.
I'm talking about 1965 or 1964. And sure, I said, "I'll take them." So I took the dadgum things and took them for about 4 or 5 days and thought, they were to make me bigger and stronger. And I thought, hell, these things aren't working, so I just threw them away.
Mm-hmm.
But, some other players on the team took them, and they got a tremendous response from them.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And here's the thing about it, too. Here's a very important thing about steroids. Would I take them if I could partake, if that would allow me to partake in the world of wrestling?
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, and sports entertainment, if that would allow me to do that, would I take them? Well, you're damn right I would. I'm going to be very honest with you. I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you need that. If I was a young man at a very young age and I could do what I wanted to, and they'd say, "Hey, this is going to take 20 years off your life," it wouldn't make me a damn bit of difference. I'd go ahead and I'd do it.
Right. You think
I'm
that's
doing what I love?
Yeah, it's more. When you're young, you don't think of that. Right.
Huh?
You think that's more when you're young. You don't really think of what effect this is going to have on you.
No, that's true. And even at middle age, it's like I used to say, I was middle aged and crazy, but now I'm damned old age and sinister. just like Obama's ministry.
Did you have anything else there, Big Dave?
Not really, Mr. Funk. Well, I do have one more. I'm really thankful for your stand on people, wrestlers and wrestling needing to clean itself up, and really thankful for you speaking out. You're always, according to the history that I followed you've always been a little bit ahead of the curve and a little bit seeing into the future, if you will, where wrestling would change in the next few years and such like that. My final question would be, where do you see wrestling going down the line? And also, I want to thank you so much for when you spoke about the crack house analogy when we were in Spartanburg, about how many deaths wrestling had, and it definitely raised many people's awareness, and I just can't thank you enough for speaking out, because I just want to see the guys who entertain fans and all. I'd love to see them where the public had a little more respect for it, and the house can be cleaned, and there's not that awful stigma that's over it right now of death and such.
Well, by no means am I an angel either.
Right.
You know, I've partaken in a lot of things through the years. Just to be very honest with you, I'm not going to sit here and try to be an angel, but I'm going to tell you something. You know, my old man used to always tell me, you know, son, do as I say, not as I do. And that's, you know, and I really mean that though. But with the best interest for the people that I'm talking about, and the people that I talk to, I try to give them good advice, even though I might not be the person to be listening to, because I have partaken in things, you know. I think we all have, you know.
Everyone's the same, for sure.
Well, thanks for calling in, Dave.
But thank you very much. Appreciate you having me on. Always enjoy your show. Thank you, Mr. Funk, for talking to us. Thanks so much.
Well, you're welcome.
He did ask about you were always someone who could predict where wrestling would go, and you know, kind of had a second career when you reinvented yourself as you know, into like hardcore. If you were to if you were in your prime now, or you were you could have like another chance, how would you what kind of style would you reinvent yourself in today?
Who would I like to be like?
Yeah.
From all of the wrestlers that I have ever known, would I like to be like Buddy Rogers? Would I like to be like Ric Flair? Would I like to be like, you know, and I'm going to pick somebody I'm going to mention somebody that's not really a family member, you know. But if I was going to be like somebody, I'd like to be like Johnny Valentine.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought he was one of the great performers. I'd like to be like Eddie Graham. I can go on for a long time like this. I'd like to be like Iron Mike DiBiase. These are guys that, going back a lot of years, you guys probably never heard of these guys before, but the people I'm talking about were just great in-ring performers.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, was just tremendous guy, in-ring performers that could turn that turnstile, you know, on their own, carry a territory. You know, that was the tough days, you know, when you had these guys that would actually come in and carry a territory on their own and build that thing and you know, have the capabilities of drawing huge houses and huge gates and having the wrestlers follow in your footsteps, trying to emulate you, which was the best thing for them to do, too.
The caller, he brought up about a lot of deaths in wrestling. So bring up that they actually are going to have a Fallen Heroes Battle Royal, and that's going to be at a XPW Cold Day in Hell, which is taking place Saturday, May 24th at the Aviation Park in Redondo Beach, California. And to get all your ticket information, you go to the xpw.com. And Terry's going to be on that show. You're going to be a special referee. I mean, the Funker's going to be on the show. Right.
The Funker's going to be there, and the Funker's going to be happy to be there, and I'm going to be there at 5 o'clock whenever they open up the doors, and I'll be there till the end of the night, but I'm going to go into the ring, and I'm going to referee, and it's going to be a lot of fun for me because Sabu, you know, I mean, besides Johnny Webb and Homeless Jimmy, Sabu and Raven are going to be in that ring, and you know, there are a couple of Bolsheviks, and you know, I really love the independent way of life, and those guys are, dadgummit, they've lived it, and they have their personalities, and they have their ways, and they're going to live by them, and I really respect them for that.
You mentioned the show's going to be at 5:30. The Fan Fest. Are you going to be part of the Fan Fest too and sign autographs?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna. You bet.
And then the actual show itself starts at 8, and in between that, they're going to have the Miss Extreme contest.
The Missing Scream.
The Miss Extreme, where they're going to find the new Miss Extreme.
Okay, that sounds like a heck of a deal. Do I qualify?
I don't know, but
what's the prize? I want to know what the damn prize is. I might want to be there. What is it? The
Miss Extreme. Miss, like a MISS and then Extreme. They're going to find the
Miss
new
Extreme.
big
I don't want
Miss
to be
Extreme.
that.
No, I didn't think
No,
so.
I don't want to be Miss Extreme.
We don't want to see
What
the
hell would I
funk
want
red
to be
dress.
Miss Extreme? I thought you were saying the missing stream. See, years go bad, too. Hell, I tell everybody, I feel 105, and they don't believe me.
Maybe you could be a judge on the Miss Extreme.
Maybe I could. Maybe I could be. What do you have to do to be Miss Extreme?
I'm not exactly sure. You have to go to the xpw.com to find out. I think you have to look good in not much clothes, basically.
Oh, well, dadgum, that sounds like a pretty good night, then.
We got another caller here on the line. Who is this?
Hi, this is Michael.
All right, you have a question for Terry, for the Funker?
Yes,
For the Filthy Funker?
First off, I just want to say thank you for everything you've done in wrestling. And secondly, I was recently watching WWE 24/7, and I saw Slamboree 2000, where you had a match with Norman Smiley and Ralphus, and I was just wondering what it was like to work with them.
That was in, what year was that?
That had been near the end of WCW.
Yeah, it was like in 2000.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I went down there to have a good time at that time,
Mm-hmm.
and wasn't in there that long, and and again, I love being in the ring with everybody, and love being in the ring with those guys too.
Oh, did you get along with Vince Russo?
No. No. Did you get along with him?
I've never met him, but I certainly am not a fan of his wrestling shows.
I'm not getting along with his television, that's for sure.
No. What's that girl say? Daddy said to send me to rehab, and I said no. That's what I'm saying. No. I didn't get along with Vince Russo.
Mm.
No.
Did you have anything else out of there? Look, I forgot the name. Sorry. I guess not. Is the caller still on? Maybe it's Vince Russo. He made the man mad. I don't know.
Maybe that was Vince Russo in disguise.
Right. You actually had a match with Sabu at the Go Funk Yourself show for XPW back in the day. That was a pretty crazy match. What do you like your memories of that match? Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It was a pretty crazy match, and every time that I've been in the ring with Sabu, it just kind of it's just that I raised my bar a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have such great respect for him. And I think he raises his bar, too. I like to think that he did all the time that he got into the rings with me.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think that with Cactus, too, and guys that I really love to go in the ring with because they were really hardcore wrestlers. And hardcore doesn't always mean, who's going to do the craziest thing either,
Right.
Hardcore is just, it's a physical, I like to think of hardcore as a very physical form of wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't give enough credit to Cactus for being a very physical wrestler, too.
Mm-hmm.
He don't, just because he looks a little goofy and stuff, is that, he can withstand a great deal of punishment. He can. I don't know how he does it. I guess it's. I've seen him do some amazing things.
Mm-hmm.
And come off of the top rope at amazing heights.
Yeah.
But one thing about it is that. He doesn't land on his head; he lands on his ass. But that's a positive.
Yeah, he's got some padding there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he got some padding there. I'm just kidding about that. No, I really do. I get a great deal of respect for that guy.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
and the amount of physical punishment he can take, and he can dish out too, and Sabu the same way,
Mm-hmm. You think?
Both those guys I got a great deal of respect for. But then I've got a lot of respect for a lot of guys in the business.
Mm-hmm. Do you think some people who really want to be like the next Mick Foley, they might or Cactus Jack, they might just see the one part of him just where he's falling off a cage and not realize that this guy's a great talker and he can.
They might not realize that Mick Foley, they want to be like Mick Foley, and they see him come off the cage, and they may not realize that he's the cheapest guy in the world. He won't, he'll bum a meal from anybody, He'll go into the damn laundromat and go ahead and take somebody else's clothes out of the dryer and put his in there. I see him do that. Put his tights and stuff in there to save a quarter.
We actually had Mick on the show last year. In his third book, he talked a lot about you, and he talked about an angle like he had planned where you would actually bite a chunk of Vince McMahon's ass out. Did he ever bring this up to you?
Oh, he did. He brought it up to me too. And we both thought that would be wonderful. And believe me, I would have bit a very large piece of Vince's ass out. I would have bit a huge piece of his ass out.
He talked a lot about it because I actually mentioned we had him on.
I know. I don't know why. I can't understand why we couldn't get Vince to go for that.
Yeah.
I could think of nothing better.
Exactly.
But I like that angle. I would absolutely love that,
He mentioned in the book he thought that some people in WWE just wanted that whole angle, the pay-per-view to fail. Did you see anything like that? Did you get that kind of feeling?
Which one are you talking about?
It was the second. Yeah, the ECW pay-per-view, the second one.
Of course, there was a lot of people that wanted it to fail,
and
it didn't fail. It didn't.
And
in fact, it was so successful that they went ahead and brought it back to life and then killed it. They didn't even, they took what life had and milked it out, and then they went ahead and, starved it to death.
Yep.
And it's still there, but it's not giving it wasn't brought into being the right way, is what I always said and what, Nick and I had talked about, and, I always mentioned it, is that ECW should have been left alone. It should have been left out there on its own. They should have gone ahead and appointed, some sharp guys and let them have ECW and never gotten together. And not gotten together till right now. You understand what I'm saying? And then brought them together and had them go against each other. You think that wouldn't have produced some business?
Oh, yeah.
And let the two, but I mean, like the, American Football League and National Football League, they are related. They come together once a year, but it's not that. It used to be, it was a wonderful rivalry, and it could have been a rivalry all the way down from the promoters, all the way down, or from the manipulators, or whatever you want to call them in this day and age. But the guys in the office, all the way down through the wrestlers, and not allow them to talk to each other, or not allow them to take part. Each of them have an individual show, and do what they want to on it, and see who can pull the highest rating.
Do you think since that's been around, it's kind of hurt the legacy of ECW?
Well, I don't think
or people just don't even see it as really ECW.
Well, I just don't. I just don't see it having any legs to stand. I don't have it. I don't see it. I think it's kind of it's more defunct now than it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, seriously. I mean, it's not what it was 2 years ago, and I'm sure that McMahon's going to either absorb it or eliminate it or whatever he's going to do. You know.
Have you seen Mike Adamle on the show? You know, they actually took Joey Styles off, and they appointed Mike Adamle as the new voice of ECW.
No, how's he doing?
They made an angle out of how bad he is.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, he has some
They want
tremendous.
somebody to do a bad job, they should hire me. I could do a real bad job. I could do a lousy job. You know what is on this? I don't know. You know, I'll bet Barbie could go ahead and do a hell of a job, a bad job for him if they want to get a good. He can really make a good bad angle.
Yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't you? No.
He has some tremendous catchphrases on the show.
I'm teasing you.
Oh, Barbie's man. Mike Adamle has some tremendous catchphrases on the show. Like, they have a wrestler from Jamaica, and he comes out and he says, Kofi Kingston is Jamaican me crazy.
Well, did Jamaica?
Yeah, Jamaican.
No, I just kissed her.
We got a bunch of callers, so we better get to a couple. We got a Jason.
Jamaica. No, I just kissed her. I got it right.
You got it, yeah. The Funker knows what's going on. You got Jason here on the line.
Hello, Terry. How are you?
What do you say, Jason?
Not much. Before I ask my question, I gotta say it's a hell of an honor to talk to you, and I always thought you were pretty good on color commentary. So.
Hey, I was. Thank you. Old Tuxedo Terry.
That was good stuff. Did you ever think of doing that full time? Lately?
No. But what I have thought about doing is really, is not as far as Vince is concerned, not as far as that is concerned. I really want to do something that I've got control of, and really truthfully is I like being my own boss and doing what I want to do, and I really like this FunkYouDVD.com deal,
Yeah.
Because I want to go ahead and I want to do I want to commentate the damn things and try to make them fun and interesting. That's what that's what I eventually want to get to, is commentating those things and doing some fun things, that people enjoy.
Yeah. Just one quick, Jason, before I get to your question. You go to FunkYouDVD.com, or you can go over to BigVisionEntertainment.com, and you sign up for the Funk You DVD Club. You get 5 free DVDs, and then every month after that, you'll get a new DVD, a new release, and you'll get it half price. You get it half off the retail price. So it's a really good deal.
Yeah. Hey, thank you.
Yeah. So what was your question, Jason?
Well, as most of you guys know, I'm a pretty big fan of the old school territory days. I want to know, Terry, do you ever think maybe a territory type system could ever come back into the States? And I think it would really help out, young guys trying to come up in the business and really kind of jumpstart things again.
Well, I don't know, but I'm fixing to go up to Minneapolis, and there's a guy up there that's going up there for him in about a month, right after the Cauliflower Alley Club. They have their deal on whatever it is, but it's Saban. And anyhow, I'm going up there for him, and he runs a bit of a territory, and it's successful. But the thing is that you cannot fight Vince McMahon by going out there and, it'd be astronomical. The cost of it would be to just jump in there and try to produce a show that would compete and compare with his. You can't do it. In this day and age, nah, forget it. But what you can do is you can find avenues and roads that open. And up there, as he ran a couple of high school shows, and then he kept on having more requests to go here and to go there. And he's running several shows a year now. And I think that's I think you got to look for the right avenue. Why do I like the Big Vision Funk You DVD.com?
Mm-hmm.
It's something different. It's something that I can have fun with, that I can enjoy. And, you know, as I've talked to several people about possibly doing a one-act play, you know, but I mean, doing it on DVD, you know. And I think it's something different. I think it's a different avenue. I think you have to look for different avenues. I think, yeah, you can create something that'll make you money that you can do for a long time, and will possibly grow as time goes by. But you know, don't just jump in there and put everything you got into it. You know, because you're not going to make it if you get up on level A.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, really, truthfully, is they've gotten so big that they can't deal with the smaller guy now. Used to, they go in there and they go opposition against them and squash them. You know,
Mm-hmm.
but now they've got the world. They've got to take care of the world. So it's a wonderful time for these smaller groups to emerge. And I truly mean that, to emerge and have a possibility of being around.
Mm-hmm.
And continuing to be around and continuing to make a buck. Of course, it's at a different level,
Mm-hmm.
but the opportunity is there for that right now.
Without ECW and WCW, without the territories, and you know, if smaller one like pop up, where would like future guys? Where's the WWE going to get like new wrestlers?
Oh gosh, they got their own. They got their own.
Be all from developmental.
They got their own factories right now. You know, as you got there's many guys out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you know, I'm a lover of the Ultimate Fight too. As I really enjoy watching it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and, I think it's a pretty good deal. You know, and I think it's the shoot fighting and is they're doing a lot of business around the country. You know.
Do you think wrestling should try to be more like MMA, or they should try to give people something that they can't get from MMA?
Well, I think what I truthfully think is MMA is they had better not try to be like wrestling.
Right.
Because that will hurt them quicker than anything.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a tendency to kind of move in that direction. You know. And whenever they become tainted, they have to watch themselves.
Mm-hmm. Did you have another question, Jason? Because we got a few other people here on the line.
Oh, no, I don't have a call. I just want to say thank you very much, and I appreciate Terry answering my question.
Well, I hope I answered it for you.
Oh, you did. I greatly appreciate it.
All right. Sorry if I talked over you.
Ah, it's okay.
All right. Thanks, Jason.
Yep.
So we got Specs on here on the line.
Yes, hello, Jack, and hello, Terry. I just first like to say, I'm doing great. First, I'd like to say, to kind of reiterate what Jason said, it's indeed an honor to speak with you right now. I'm a Spartanburg native myself, and I've had a lot of pleasure in seeing you perform at the Spartanburg Memorial Auditorium. I would love for you to come back. Just great shows. My question is, what led to your return to the NWA in early 1989, I believe, and describe the atmosphere of the company during your tenure?
In 1989, you know, it was 89. That was whenever the Flair situation, you know, whenever I went ahead and was competing against, you know, had the title, you know, Flair had the title and made the run at him and everything else, and called him the banana nose, and he certainly didn't like that, you know, and went ahead and said he looked like a emaciated Barbara Bush, you know, and he didn't like that. And, you know, but that That was whenever I made a run back there, you know, and that was because I really wanted to make a run, and I really wanted to do it one more time at that time, and felt like I was in the best physical shape of my life, and I probably was, you know, physically, but then while I was down there, I broke my sacrum, which is this. You know, it's one of the larger bones in your body, and it's very painful and everything else. But that had nothing to do with it, and a bunch of other injuries. But I kept on going, and we had the I Quit match, and Jim Hurt was down there, and it was quite a chaotic mess. And Kevin Sullivan was down there, and gosh, there was a lot of guys. Eddie Gilbert was down there. They were all on the booking committee. It was a chaotic time, and yeah, I went ahead and I made a run down there. I enjoyed it. It was a fun run, you know. Produced some great stuff with Rick, and it was a good time. It was okay. About a year and a half.
Mm-hmm. Actually, that I Quit match
and
with
you know
Flair's
I made good money too.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a great deal too.
Did you see Flair's retirement?
No. That's like, you know, I tell people all the time, but you know, watching Flair's retirement match is like, you know, it's like if I was a plumber. You know, watching another plumber fix a toilet.
Right.
You know, if he could fix a toilet better than me, I don't want to see him do it. And why in the hell would I want to see him do a lousy job fixing the toilet?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you got it. That's right. So, you know, that's the way I looked at that deal there. Somebody asked me, said, well, how do you compare your retirement to Rick? Well, you can't. Different time, different eras.
Yeah.
Different places.
If your match at the ECW One Night Stand, if that's like your last, you know, like big priority match, would you be happy with it?
You talking about the last ECW One?
Yeah, you and Dreamer versus Edge and Foley.
Was I happy with it? I'm not sure that I'm ever happy with a match.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I am happy with some of my matches and everything else. I felt like it. I was very happy with that match. Yes, I was.
Yeah.
And it was a damn good match. If that's my last one, it's well, you know, I'm probably sure that it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've had one knee replaced, fixing to have the other one, and you know, is a lot of things are important to me right now in my life,
mm-hmm.
and one of them's not. And believe me, this is not been derogatory towards my profession, because I love it. But one of them's not getting out on the road and traveling to all of these places all over the country.
Right.
You know, I want to sit on my back porch and break wind and rock in a rocking chair and drink a 6-pack of beer. You know, I mean, that's what I want to do right now.
Right.
I want to keep my world small.
Well, thanks for calling in, Spec Son.
All right, thanks.
Do you have a question there, Inchman?
Yes, I actually do. Buck from our message board, he wants to know, he noticed your screen credit on Rocky V, and he wanted to know what your involvement was in that. Oh, man.
In Rocky V?
Yeah.
My screen credit was, what was it?
Stunt coordinator, I believe.
I was the stunt coordinator, and what happened is Sly got pissed off at the other stunt coordinator and fired him. He says, "You think that you can do a good job at this?" I said, "Yeah." So I went out there and stunt coordinated the thing, you know, with his help.
Yeah.
But that was the better part of it, though, is he was the one that did everything. Yeah, it was him that was doing the whole thing, but he just brought me in for the hell of it,
Right.
you know. But I did. I got credits for stunt coordinator, which is a damn good credit, you know.
Now, I also bring this up because actually for my birthday, my brother bought me it's a branding iron that you actually use for steaks, and it's got IYH in your head on it. Now, when I saw that, I was like, oh man, I'm like Terry Funk now. Now, have you ever thought about maybe selling Double Cross Ranch Terry Funk steak branding irons? I think that'd be a big seller.
He's a genius, Terry.
All right, yeah, I like that. Yeah, I think, yeah, kids can go ahead and buy them 19 years old, you know, and put them in the oven, get them about 400 degrees, run around and, you know, brand their little sister on the ass, you know. But, yeah, I think that'd be a hell of an idea. I think it'd be a great market for it.
I'm not taking any of these lawsuits that come out of the.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Right, yeah. Sounds like a good idea.
Fun for the whole family.
Yeah. You know, Daddy, he can go ahead and grab one of those and chase Mama around the house or whatever, you know.
Outback Jack is the man from our message board. He wants to know, what was it like working with Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse?
Patrick's a great guy. If you want to talk about, good guys and everything else, Patrick was a good one. You know, and he loved to, you'd finish up that weekend, you know, and have that Sunday off, you know, because nobody works on Sunday and Saturday night. He loved to drink that beer, you know, but lived by the rules all week long, and he was just a lot of fun. And enjoyed him on the movie, and a good actor, I think.
Did you have a question, Barbie?
Sure.
Barbie, what the hell you want now?
I was wondering if I could borrow some money.
How much do you want?
A couple of grand, that's all. I owe it to some people. I'm in trouble. Yeah.
A couple of grand.
Yeah, but more.
Barbie,
one of our fans.
I don't know, Barbie. I don't think I can come to it. I don't think I can loan you any money at this time.
Okay. I'm going to have to start selling myself again. But in the meantime, one of our fans wants to know, what memories do you have of your ECW title victory over Raven?
Really enjoyed that night. It was a great night. It really was. The whole night was a heck of a night. My family was there with me.
Mm-hmm.
But that was good, you know, and it was.
Hello? Yes. Oh well.
Yeah, we'll get to you in a second, caller. Just be quiet and let the funker speak.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a heck of a night, you know, and it was kind of a big night up in ECW. That night was too, you know. But of course, every night was a big night up there because LA is always hanging from the rafters, you know, at that time. Had a good time up there, and you know, it was a good night.
Speaking
of matches, memorable matches, that was one of them. That was a memorable night.
Yeah. Speaking of Raven, you'll be the special referee for the Raven. Johnny Webb versus Sabu Homo's Jimmy match. That's going to be at the XPW Cold Day in Hell. That's Saturday, May 24th. Everybody check that out at thexpw.com and get your tickets. That's going to be in Redondo Beach, California. Another thing on that match is actually the Gangsters are reuniting for the first time in years.
How long has it been?
I don't know. It's probably over 10 years, I'd say.
That's a long time, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. What do you think about that team? New Jack, Mustafa, when they used to wrestle with the music. Do you think that was really innovative?
I think that anything that New Jack does is innovative.
Yeah.
I think anything New Jack does is kaleidoscopical. I think anything that New Jack does is dynamic. How does that sound?
Exactly. I'd say
Yeah,
same.
but I do.
I totally
think
agree.
that about New Jack. I do. I totally agree too. And I'll tell you what, that is some gangsters out there too.
Mm-hmm.
If New Jack is one of them, that's the real deal. They are gangsters.
Oh, caller with the area code 609. Who are you?
Cats.
All right. Do you have a question?
Who's
Hi
this?
there, Terry.
Who's this?
He says his name's
Pat.
Pats. Was it Pat or Cat?
Cats.
All right.
Pat. Pat.
You know who it is. Terry, you going to be at the Cauliflower Alley show?
Am I? You darn right. I'm going to Cauliflower Alley Club this year. I am.
Maybe,
Looking forward to it too.
Yeah, Pat
Jay
Patterson.
Dillon's going to be the master of ceremonies this year.
And
We're going to be honoring.
Yeah, Pat Patterson.
Be honoring Pat Patterson.
okay. Maybe I'll see
I'm
you.
going to have about 500 T-shirts out there too. Just hoping I'll probably. And I'm going to have. What else am I going to have?
No branding irons.
8x10s.
No branding irons. No branding irons.
2 copies
I'm
of
going
your
to have
book left over.
pictures. I'm going to have pictures. I'm going to have books. I'm going to have. I'm going
How
to
many
have.
copies can I have?
Well, it depends on how many free videos you've got.
I got tons of videos. You know that. Anyway.
Well, make it quick if you get another question, because we got a bunch of people here. I want to try to.
That was it.
All right, thanks for
Just
calling.
wanted to say hi.
All right.
And just wanted to
I know who that guy is.
You know who he
I
is?
know who that guy is. I know that voice.
Yeah, Dave Katz.
Katz, it's Katz. What are you doing, Katz?
I didn't think you recognized me for a minute.
Why, hell, I recognize you now, Katz.
How you doing?
I knew that voice. I'm doing good, Katz.
How's Ricky
How's
doing?
the family doing?
Everyone's doing good.
That's wonderful.
Haven't seen you for a while. You moved down to the ranch.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Haven't talked to you in a while, so maybe I'll get down to Vegas. Maybe I'll get down to Vegas to see you.
Are you going down? Are you going down?
I don't know. I'm actually going to be in Texas that weekend, and if I get a cheap flight out of there, I'll show up.
That's like me. If I can find a cheap flight out, I'll show up too.
Mick Foley might have some advice on that.
Yeah, he certainly would.
Yeah, anyway, I heard you were on the show here, and I just wanted to call and say hi. Because I know.
Well, I am thrilled to talk to you again.
It's been past due. Yeah, I'll get a hold of you soon.
Give me a holler sometime.
Yeah, and maybe I'll see you in another month. If not, I'll just give you a call.
Yeah, I hope to see you out there.
I'll give you Funk's number right here. Oh man, that's probably not a good idea.
Don't give me my number. You can give him my number, but don't give it out.
Oh, just thanks for calling in, Cats.
I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Area code 570. Who are you?
It's Bill from Pennsylvania.
All right,
Can
Bill.
you hear me?
Yep.
How you doing, Phil?
Yeah. Oh, I'm doing great. It's an honor to talk to you. You're a true legend in wrestling. I'm a longtime fan. I'm 50 years old, and I have in front of me a couple of magazines from 1972. You were talking earlier about some of the guys that you would like to have your style compared to, and Johnny Valentine and some of those guys that carried the territory. Your brother, of course, is known for his scientific wrestling with his long matches with Jack Briscoe and that, but I suspect the guy you really followed most closely in the footsteps of would have been your father. They had here in September of '72 a Bloodbath of the Year, Texas King of the Texas Death Matches with your father and Cyclone Negro that went an hour and 44 minutes, 27 falls. I was wondering if you had any recollections of that, if you were in the area
I sure do.
at that time.
I sure do. Yeah, that
would just be incredible.
1973. That was in
it's a 72. 72.
72. All right, it was in 72.
Yeah, well,
right after that, my father passed away.
right.
Right
way
after
too
that
young.
match, it was like a week after.
Yeah,
It was like a
hard
week
time,
after he had that. Yeah. Before that, he had a match with Iron Mike DiBiase that went 3 hours and 45 minutes.
Wow.
And that was another
Wow.
one. You know, they were classic matches too. Who did I think were the real class guys in the business? I thought my dad was. I thought he was a innovator and you know, is he had a great mind on him for the business. And another guy that had a great mind on him for the business was Eddie Graham. I thought that those guys were two of the sharpest guys in the business at that time, and would still be if they're still around. You know.
No, I agree. We used to get the Florida shows up here on cable in Pennsylvania, and Eddie Graham, and certainly yourself, and Dusty, and Pack Song in those days, the early and mid '70s, and Meltzer often writes about
that was great stuff. That was great stuff that was coming out of Florida.
It really was.
Some of the best stuff, and if you watch it in this day and age, it's still great. With Soley on the mic, and,
on the mic,
what all was going on, you know, it
still holds up.
Oh, it holds up better than anything would, you know.
I
It would
agree.
hold up very well, you know. If somebody could produce that type of a show, that guy just had a great capability of just creating and doing stuff, but he did it on a very much of a wrestling level.
You know, yeah, it really was. It was a great time to be a fan.
While keeping respect for the profession. What the hell is that? A dog howling, or what is that?
Is that your
is that
dog?
A dog?
Who's got it? I thought maybe it was the Funker's dog.
No, that wasn't my dog.
The neighbor. I'm sorry. The neighbor.
Oh.
It's the neighbor's dog.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in, Bill.
My dog.
Thanks for
my
taking the
dog
call.
barked too much. My dog got to barking one time on one of these shows, so I took him to the vet and had his vocal cords cut out. I just kind of just goes. You know, he can't bark. Air just comes out.
Mm-hmm. Some of our older shows, my dog's barking quite a bit in the background, but he's pretty old now and blind, and so you don't hear much of him. He's 20 years old.
No.
Yeah.
No, there's no dogs 20 years old.
Yeah, he's 20. You can't see.
Yeah, there is some 20-year-old dogs.
I guess so. Maybe I've got a record here. I don't know.
I know, yeah. I was talking about different dogs.
Oh.
You've got a 20-year-old dog. Still gets around.
Yeah, he still gets around. He can't see at all. He's completely blind, but yeah, he's still my dog, though. But
I tell you what, dogs are the greatest thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
They are. You got to have a dog.
Oh, definitely. He woke me up this morning barking, and then I get up, and you're kind of mad, but then you see him, and he's wagging his tail, and you can't be mad at him after that.
Yeah, you can kick them in the ass, and they turn right back around, come right back to you.
I heard once that Jimmy Hart produced music for you in Japan. Is there any truth to that?
Yeah, it was some god-awful music.
That wasn't something you want me to bring up.
I sang this one song. What was it called? I Hate School. Jimmy wrote it, and it was. But what we did is we did all of Jimmy's songs on that thing, and I did I Hate School. I was 42 years old singing I Hate School.
Well, I guess you would if you were still in school by that point.
You know that you've got a heck of a point there, don't you? That's a great point.
Yeah, I think by then you might as well just drop out.
No, I've been out at least 2 years.
can you sing any lines for us tonight, or?
I hate to go. I don't know how to hell. You guys are going to ruin me here. You're going to have me singing. That's going to ruin everything for me. It's going to kill my image. Nobody knows that I've got such a wonderful voice.
We got Carol on the line here.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Hey, Terry Funk.
Yes, sir.
I got a couple of questions for you. I met you in Conway, South Carolina, on December the 3rd of 2005, and you were fighting Dusty Rhodes in a steel cage match, and I've got the video of it.
Sorry, horrible.
Well,
you got the video. I'll be damned. You got the video of it.
Yeah, I've got the video of it and the DVD of it, and I was there. I was on the front row and I was taking pictures, and I got right in front of you and I took a picture of you, and you had blood all over your face. Because I swear I felt sorry for you because you had all that blood all over your face, and I think Dusty Rhodes had won it, and I've got a picture of you because I met you in Conway, and I got a picture of you, and I've got a bunch of pictures of all the other wrestlers that I met, and I've got them on my wall, and I call it my Hall of Fame, my picture of Hall of Fame, and I'm related to, you probably know him, but I'm related to Jackie Crockett.
I'll be dead.
You know Jackie Crockett? Guy. Yeah, he married my cousin Ruthie, and he married her in 2001, and I think it was before the very WCW last Nitro, and he was there that night at Conway, and I think he talked to you that night. I'm not real sure, but I know he was there.
I remember that now. I remember that, I remember him coming back there and talking to me. And Jackie is a great guy.
Oh, yeah, he's something else.
He was some of the only sanity in that, in the NWA at that time.
Yeah. I mean, I love wrestling to death. I mean, even though that you have some accidents, broken bones and everything, and I love it to death. But I like taking pictures of it and watching it. And I used to watch the NWA a long time ago, and then when it turned to WCW, and now, thank God, InYourHead.com, they have all of the wrestlers that come on here, and thank God for the In Your Head people, because I tell you, I call every Wednesday night.
In Your Head is a good deal because it gives you a chance to, to hear some of those guys that are just completely, if it wasn't for places like In Your Head and some others around the country, you wouldn't hear from those guys, that were pretty damn good parts of your life. It's like when I was a kid, and my dad was wrestling. There was Bob Geigel and Lou Thez and Pat O'Connor, and Ray Gunkel and on, and Sputnik Monroe, and I can go on forever, And, things like In Your Head and radio shows like that, shows like this around the country, it allows the guys that you grew up with to hear them once again. And it's pretty damn
Oh,
good
yeah.
thing.
Well, I went to the NWA Fan Fest last year in Charlotte, and I met your manager, Gary Hart, and I got his autograph, and he was a real nice guy, and I got his picture on my wall.
You ought to be happy to have that now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah,
Pretty big deal to have that,
He really was a nice guy. We had him on the show.
I'll tell you what,
yeah.
Gary Hart appreciated that, too. And
oh, yeah.
I'll tell you, he we all appreciate that, as being, it's not so much recognized, but it's just a part of our past that pretty nice to have it remembered at times.
Well, I can remember back in the days, I think it was either WCW or the NWA when you had to go up against Flair for that I Quit match, and Gary Hart was there because he was your manager. And when you had lost the match, Gary Hart really, they showed it on TV that he got mad because you had lost the match, and I felt sorry that you lost the match because you were the toughest son of a gun that I've ever met, and it's in wrestling today. And I don't know if you're still wrestling a lot, but you're the first one that I ever got to see.
Yeah, the only person that I wrestle anymore is my wife. That's about all I wrestle anymore.
Are we ever going to see that on pay-per-view? Or?
I might make a buck with it.
You never know. We might see that someday on FunkYouDVD.com.
Yes, exactly. I've been thinking about that, putting that out.
Thanks for calling in, Carol.
All right, I do appreciate it. I do. It's
a pleasure talking to you, Carol. It really is. And
well, it is an honor talking to you, and I hope you do well, and I hope you keep wrestling and keep winning, because you're one tough son of a gun, and I really do believe in you.
Paul Jones. You remember Paul Jones?
Oh yeah. I've never met him, but
I remember wrestling him in Greensboro before a sold-out crowd down there.
Oh, man.
It was quite a match there, and quite a guy, too.
Well, I remember there's a lot of stuff that I can just go on and on and on and talk about and everything, but you really, you're just like last week I got to talk to Ivan Koloff for the very first time, and I've never met him before.
Yeah, I'd like to mention a couple of people right now, as Leo Garibaldi and Penny Banner. We lost both of them just this past week. And a couple of people that were down within your area that were pretty special to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever
got to meet Teddy Banner last year and Gary Hart at the Fan Fest Carol mentioned.
Yeah. Do you ever come to North Myrtle Beach? You ever take a vacation and come down this way?
Haven't come down that way.
You got some pictures for him to sign, right?
I've gone.
That's right.
Yeah. Not as I need to take a vacation sometime.
Maybe if Carol's footing the bill, maybe he will be taking a vacation down there.
By golly, I might do that.
Well, maybe I can call Jackie up, and maybe we can set something up, and maybe I can get your autograph, and and maybe we can talk some more and stuff.
I'd like to see that Jackie again, I'll tell you that. And his family was quite a family, they had a lot to do with wrestling in that area, and they had everything to do with it.
Oh yeah, he's moving to Spartanburg. That's where I was born and raised, Spartanburg, South Carolina. And they bought a house in Spartanburg, and they're trying to fix it up. And he's got apartments down here in North Myrtle Beach, like little apartments and everything. Yeah. And he's doing very well.
Well,
I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that about him. You be sure to tell him I said hi.
Thanks for calling, Carol.
All right, I do appreciate it.
Talk to you next week, man.
All right, I do appreciate it.
We got another caller here. Let's get to him. We got Brian.
Oh, hi. Is this the Funker?
Yeah, this is the Funker here.
Yes, I have two questions. First of all, I wanted to say I really enjoyed your work in The Ringer. That was a great movie. My first question was, who did you like working with more, Sly or Patrick Swayze?
Both of them. I really enjoyed working with Patrick because that thing ran 17 weeks, and we filmed for 17 weeks on that thing, and I got paid every week, and it was a pretty good payday.
Yeah, I like that. I like that line.
I like Patrick better than No, but I like Sly too. As I'll tell you what, Sly, I like them both. They're both completely different personalities. They really are. You know, and Sly's is he's so creative. You know, and he taught me so much. He really did. You know, he's not given enough credit for what he's done in the world of movie making. You know, if you look back at the stuff that he put out, and you know, what was that one with Travolta in it?
I think it was Saturday Night Fever.
Saturday Night Fever was the one that a lot of people don't know it, but I think Sly wrote that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he directed it too.
Rhinestone.
Yeah, wrote and directed it. You know, I mean, my gosh, I mean, this guy did some phenomenal things. You know, and a lot of people look at him like because of Rocky, they look at him in that light, like that's who he is. Well, boy, let me tell you something. This guy is sharp and got a wonderful mind on him.
Even the first Rocky, man, that's a really good movie, and he's a really good actor in that movie. A lot of people think they're just about boxing.
But you know what? Patrick was easy to get along with, too, and Patrick was great, too. And
I thought that line was funny when he fired you in the movie, and you said, like, I can't remember what you said, but he said there's always barber college towards at the beginning of the...
Yeah,
I thought that was funny.
I didn't think that was funny at all.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Brian, I'm actually thinking about getting a barber there.
All right.
My other question was, I know that you've been in a lot of, like, in Japan, you and guys like Foley were in a lot of matches where there was, like, you know, a lot of bleeding. The thing that I've always wondered about is in matches like that where both guys, like, bleed so much, do people ever have to get, like, testing for, like, hepatitis or AIDS? I'm not saying you have it. I'm just saying that, you know, like, you know, there's a risk of, like, infection with that much, you know, with that much open cuts from people.
At that time, there was no testing for hepatitis. But now there is testing for hepatitis, which is a good thing.
For that?
You know, I mean, there are certain things that have progressed, you know, that, like like WCW and whenever Turner had it and stuff like that, when I first started, I mean, heck, I used to go down there to Littlefield, Texas, and it's about 100 miles from my home here, and drive down there, and it was in this little bitty dinky arena, and the guy I don't think that he ever cleaned his mat cover. He had a horse tank, you know, that had a hose in it. That's where you took your shower, you know, and things have changed a great deal, you know, and a lot of, you know, some of them have been for the bad, but some of them been to the good, too.
Right.
You know?
Have you ever had to get tetanus shot from all the barbed wire and stuff? I mean, because of, like, you know, with barbed wire matches, do people have to get tetanus shots before that, or?
Pour a little alcohol in them and forget it.
Oh, and I wanted to say I really enjoyed Beyond the Mat, too. I thought that was a great movie.
Yeah. That was like one night I just wanted to mention this because you asked me about the barbed wire, you know, is talking about Sabu, you know, as one, I wrestled him in a barbed wire match up in ECW.
Oh, yeah.
Probably one of the most brutal matches that I've ever had, you know, and I looked over there and, you know, again, because like I said earlier, we kind of raised the bar all the time, you know, with each other and me and him and Foley, and that night he ripped his bicep wide open.
Oh, yeah, I think I remember that.
And he just went ahead and taped the damn thing up, and we stopped the match for about 3 minutes. He got some tape and taped it up. We went on, and then after the matches, he got his super glue out, and he never, I don't think he ever had a stitch in his life, but he super glued these humongous gashes in his body, you know, and he was the first guy I've ever seen to use super glue. So I thought, well, hell, that's a pretty good idea. You know?
Okay, well, I appreciate you taking my call, but thank you very much. Thank you.
Appreciate you calling.
Now, were you like legit scared in that match when they had to cut you out of the barbed wire?
Was I legit scared, or I don't think I've ever been scared, but I don't. I certainly was. I was certainly concerned.
Yeah, it's probably a better word.
Scared is concerned would be a better word.
Yeah.
Someone's
asked.
I don't.
Go on, sorry. No, you go on, sorry.
No, you go on.
Well, this guy's been asking this question to me all night in the chat room. He just want to know what you thought of Austin Idol.
I thought Austin Idol was a tremendous piece of talent. I really did, and Austin was, as I knew Austin before he even got into the profession. And he was a friend of Mike Graham's. And they went to high school together. And that's how Austin Idol got into the profession of wrestling, through Eddie Graham down there.
We got two more calls. Let's get to those guys quick, and then we'll wrap it up, because we've had the Funker on here for a long time. But Santo on the line, he's probably getting tired.
I've worn you guys out.
No, we'll go all night, but I figured you're probably getting sick of us.
No, that's okay. Well, 2 more calls will be great.
Santo.
¿Qué pasa, Mr. Funkster?
¿Qué pasó?
Yeah. All right, look, I want to know. This is a question. I'm from down south, New Orleans, and I grew up watching Mid South. And I want to ask the question: did you ever had a chance to work in the Mid South area, or with Bill Watts? Did you ever have opportunity to do that? Or?
Absolutely, Tulsa Tubby. That's what that's what I used to call him. And yeah. So yeah, I worked for him down there and wrestled against him down there. And
okay.
He was, and again, everybody evolves from somewhere in the world of wrestling. And again, there's a guy that did terrific in the world of professional wrestling, and did some wonderful things, and created a wonderful territory there. But where did he learn? He learned from Eddie Graham. And where did Eddie Graham learn? Eddie Graham learned from my father. Not everything, I'm telling you, but I mean, he learned a great deal from my father, and they, all of the great manipulators and guys that were in the office in the world of wrestling.
Yeah, this one, I know you got to get going. I just want to let you know, in Paradise Alley, that had to be the best movie ever, you was in.
I thought it was the best wrestling movie ever put out.
Yes,
and
that's
I
right.
think that it was just.
It is.
I think that it just came out at the wrong time, and I think if it would have came out 3 years later than what it did, it was before its time. I think it would have done a tremendous box office.
That's correct.
Have you seen anything about that Andre the Giant movie that's coming out? Because they actually have someone who plays you in that movie.
Somebody plays who?
They play you. There's someone who plays you in the movie. It's Heart of the Giant. It's a Andre the Giant movie they're making.
What the hell am I doing in it?
I don't know this.
What's Andre doing? Beating the hell out of me or what?
I have to say though, the guy that plays.
What does this guy do? Does this guy have a cameo role, or does he have the lead? What the hell is it?
I gotta say, I think they saw someone who looked like you, and so they put him in the movie because he's the only guy. He's the only guy that looks anything like any of the wrestlers. Is the guy that's playing you.
Is that? Is this who put out this thing? It's got to be a. What is it? I bet it was about a $30 million budget on this.
By the looks of it, I'd say about $30.
$30,000. $30,000. $30.
Yeah, it's not a high budget looking film.
Who's putting this out? But I want to know the.
It's like
Roddy Hollywood, or what's his name?
Rocky James Hollywood, I think's the guy's name. It's quite it's pretty funny to watch the trailer for it if you can find it online.
And you can find Terry Funk online too.
Yeah,
I got some nut calling me right now. Wait a minute, that's my mom.
Oh, okay. You want to?
No, I can't talk to my mom on the phone now.
Oh man, we feel terrible now. We're keeping the
I know,
funker from his mom. We're like total heels.
I've got to get out of this thing and call my mama back.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in, Santo. Everybody check out the xpw.com. All the links will be right on our website, and check out funkudvd.com. Want to thank Terry Funk for coming on the show.
Wait.
Hey,
Okay.
Hey, anytime, guys, and I enjoyed it.
All right, caller, quick. Just say hi to Terry.
Hi, Terry.
What was your question?
What do you want to know? What was your question?
All right, my one question was, when you went to One Night Stand, what were your thoughts? Like, do you think you're going to get a contract? Like, afterwards?
Whenever I went to One Night Stand, I thought, geez, what am I doing up here wrestling for Vince again? So, did I want to? I don't think that I really wanted a contract.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and really didn't, and was very happy with being up here for that one night. And it was a one night stand for the Funker. You know. Well, there goes the what is that?
Cell phone.
That's my cell phone again. Then.
Right. Okay.
I don't know what this is.
All right.
We're going to break then.
Hey, this is Mikey Whipwreck from ECW, and you're listening to InYourHeadOnline.com. Or am I in your head? Or my head, your head? Somebody's head. Alcino wants head? Also should get head. I don't know. Anyway, that's where you're at.